Do you even vape, bro? Over the last few years, the vaping trend has been clouding up society. E-cigarettes, or vapes, are a new age take on one of the world's oldest habits. So we're here to spark the conversation if being the colossus of cloud has colossal effects on your health. You're watching the Deets, a show where we demystify the technologies that are shaping the future. I'm your host, Riley Wynn. Electronic cigarettes, aka smokeless cigarettes, e-cigs, vapes, whatever you want to call them, they're all an alternative way of consuming nicotine, the addictive chemical found in tobacco and traditional cigarettes. Vaping is often touted as a safer alternative to cigarette smoking, and there's a lot of hysteria and misconceptions surrounding vaping and its health effects. Is vaping safe? Well, we combed through the recent medical and scientific literature to see what the latest science has to say. Here's what we found. It's been well documented that cigarette smoke contains a variety of poisons and carcinogens. But what about the vapor from e-cigarettes? A 2014 study tested 21 different e-cig liquids and found that e-cigarette vapors did contain toxic compounds, but at a level that was 9 to 450 times lower than cigarette smoke. That's good news for people who are quitting smoking and vaping instead. Previous studies show that e-cig vapor contains low amounts of toxins and carcinogens. But what happens to these substances when they're inhaled? A March 2018 study published in Pediatrics showed that teens who both smoked cigarettes and vaped had the highest level of toxins and carcinogens. Teens who only smoked e-cigs were not spared though, as they also had elevated levels of potentially harmful compounds. We still don't know whether the levels of these toxic chemicals will have long-term effects on the body. Only time will tell. It's well known that cigarette smoking has direct effects on your heart health. But what vaping does to your cardiovascular health is very concerning. A small study revealed that vaping with nicotine produced a significant increase in heart rate, blood pressure, and artery stiffness, a combo that later in life can lead to heart attack and stroke. A follow-up study in 2018 by UC San Francisco expanded the scope of the research by looking at survey results from 70,000 people. They found that daily e-cig use doubles your chance of heart attack. The worst combination is vaping and smoking cigarettes every day, which increases your heart attack risk 5-fold. There is a silver lining though. If you only use e-cigs occasionally, then you have little to worry about as your heart attack risk does not significantly change. Another piece of good news, this risk disappears as you stop vaping. A big appeal to e-cigarettes is that they come in different flavors. The favorite flavoring agent is cinnamaldehyde. Cinnamaldehyde. If you can't say it or spell it, you probably shouldn't put it in your body, guys. Cinnamaldehyde is deemed safe for the use in food products, but little research has looked at what happens to cinnamaldehyde when it's vaporized and inhaled. A team of researchers from the University of North Carolina explored this question and discovered that cinnamaldehyde disrupted the function of the cilia. Inside our bodies, these cilia are critical to our respiratory system because they remove bacteria and other foreign substances from the lungs. Without functional cilia, people are at a significantly higher risk of developing bronchitis and lung infections, and ain't nobody got time for that. Most flavoring agents are reactive aldehydes that are similar to cinnamaldehyde. They also are added in very high concentration. If cinnamaldehyde has this profound of an effect on the lungs, then it's possible these other flavorings have the same effect too. Vaping was introduced as a way for people to kick the smoking habit without giving up their love of smoking. They could inhale the tasty liquid vapor of an e-cigarette and avoid the harmful toxins and carcinogens that come from tobacco smoke. But what about the kids? While adults often stick to e-cigs after giving up regular cigarettes, teens often do the opposite. Teens are saying no to cigarettes and choosing to vape instead. However, once they start using e-cigs, teens are 6 times more likely than non-smokers to start smoking once they've reached legal age. Vaping among high school and middle school students is at an all-time high according to the FDA. In a single year, the number of teens vaping increased by 1.5 million. The biggest jump was among high school students who showed a 78% increase in vaping, as compared to a 48% increase among middle school students. This is a radical change following years of decline of tobacco use in teens. Why all of a sudden are teens vaping? Well, 39% of survey respondents cited good old peer pressure. They smoke e-cigs because a friend or family member also vapes. Not surprisingly, the sweet taste of e-cigs also plays a significant role, with 31% of teens claiming they're attracted to flavorings such as mint, candy, mango, or chocolate. Another 17% picked up vaping because they believe e-cigs are less harmful than tobacco cigarettes. All of the studies above looked at the issue as cigarettes versus vaping. But what if you do both? Will it affect your health in a negative way? No freaking doy. A recent study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association showed that exposure to harmful toxicants is highest among those who both smoke and vape. The study measured biomarkers that are the result of exposure to toxicants. These biomarkers were lowest among those who only vaped and highest among dual users. The take-home message: if you're going to use vaping to wean off cigarettes, then you should strive to transition quickly and not smoke both for an extended period. Just like using Nicorette gum to try and quit smoking, it's supposed to be a substitute. You should not do both. If you're using vaping to try and kick the habit, then yes, vaping is a healthy way of doing that. But if you're just doing it for the clout or to blow fat clouds and be a vape god, then you're likely doing harm to your body and exposing yourself to the risk of addiction. And lastly, if you have a teen in your house, it may be worth having the conversation. Do you vape? Has vaping helped you quit smoking? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Riley Wynn with Digital Trends, and thanks for watching.